Council. The date is April 11th, 2016. Time is 7:15. And the first order of business is a flag salute. Can you start us out, Mrs. Gibbons?
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Amendola.
Here.
Ms. Glasser.
Here.
Ms. Damas. Mr. O'Brien.
Here.
Ms. Perry.
Here.
Mr. Lavasser.
Here.
Ms. Amendola. Mayor Bloom.
Here.
Solicitor Gladys.
Here.
And Public Works Director Rob Kozarowski.
Here.
Next on the agenda is the approval of the bill list for April 11th, 2016. All in favor?
We need a motion.
So moved.
Motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Next, I will entertain a motion for the approval of minutes for March 14th, 2016.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Next, I will entertain a motion for the approval of the minutes for March 28th, 2016.
So moved.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor? Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Next on the agenda is citizens' comments regarding agenda items only, and these are limited to 3 minutes. And the one person that signed up, Kathleen Watson, would you step up to the mic, please? It's not,
That's for later.
Yeah, that's.
yes,
Right,
could you?
And that's fine.
Okay, thank you. Next is the solicitor's report.
Chairman, members of council. 3 items on the solicitor's report for this evening. First is that there are 2 tax exempt properties, one for Lincoln Avenue, one for 201 Ewing Road, that our office was able to make tax exempt as of 2016. These are properties that are owned by Crafton that for some reason were reclassified at some point in the distant past as being taxable. Our office is now in the process of presenting petitions to the court to try to go back beyond 2016 to when the properties were first made taxable. We believe that we have the cooperation of the school district and the Allegheny Assessment Office. Those are in process. The second item is an ongoing issue at 225 Ewing, where there are code and occupancy issues regarding a dog kennel. Those are still in process. The third matter is 78 Fountain Street, which is the property that is being scheduled for trial to be taken down. At this point, it has not yet been scheduled for trial. Discovery has been served on the property owner's attorney, and a site visit has been planned. We can't move it any faster than the Allegheny County trial schedule, so we'll keep you apprised of that. Does anyone have any questions? Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Next on the agenda is the business agenda. Underneath that is personnel. I will entertain a motion to ratify the hiring of Heather Ravenstahl as the pool manager for the 2016 pool season, as recommended by the committee.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
What is that?
Somebody's microphone is. There we go.
Any discussion on that motion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Next, I will entertain a motion to approve the 2016 summer employment list dated 4/11/2016 as submitted.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Any discussion?
Yes, what day did they take place, the interviews?
They didn't really have interviews. It was Heather and Mary Luxbacher and I went through, the majority of those kids have worked here before. So Heather, since she's going to be working down there as the manager, she's familiar with them, so is Mary. So we went through it, and most of them got what they applied for, especially lifeguards. I mean, they apply for a lifeguard position because we never have enough lifeguards. by the end of the
17,
season.
not too many, were they all good enough hours,
No.
17 lifeguards?
Yeah, the whole, between vacations, and then, at August, we're always floundering. And now, one gentleman at the end, his name's, I think it's Kurt. He's I can't remember which guy he is. He's an older gentleman, he only wants to work part-time. He works at the end of the season. I can't remember which guy he is. He's an older gentleman though, but he's gonna be, he'll work it like at the end of the season, you know, I mean, because all the kids go back to school. So between vacations and times off and all that stuff, absolutely, we need 7 left. Plus, it's open, and then we do swim lessons, and they do swim lessons too. You know, and then Crocodile's go there, they have to have lifeguard there too. So the pool's open, like 9 AM to about 8 PM, just about Monday through Friday, most Saturdays it's usually just 12.
And you're in the lifeguard station, it's a new addition to the pool.
Yeah, and we have a new addition of another lifeguard, that's an additional lifeguard, in addition to what they've had before. And we know the chairs and everything. So, absolutely, actually, we'll probably, that Kenneth Kane, he's the easy alternate. He comes in the evening. You know, in the summer, because all the kids come back to school. So he's an older gentleman. But he's a lifeguard. Yeah, he has all his certifications. Yeah, he just doesn't want to work all summer. You know what I mean? So,
And as Fred mentioned when we talked over the weekend, as you reiterated, the application list is getting smaller and you really hired pretty much everybody.
yeah, everybody that applied is hired. Probably 95% got what they applied for. But there was a couple that we didn't move around. Mostly because they were younger and felt that they could work at the pool better than public works, some public works.
Anyone else? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Next on the agenda, I will entertain a motion to approve resolution number 2016-04, amending wages in section G, swimming pool personnel, streets, parks laborer for the 2016 summer season.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
The price is pretty much the same for their wages, and they go up.
No, they weren't exactly. The only thing we raised were the school cards, they got a raise in the regular budget, you know, I mean, all year round. So we increase them, whatever they get. During the year, we're not gonna go backwards during the summer, so we increased those. And, I think that was all it, that was it, the only one that we changed.
Okay, supervisor and coordinator, they're the same job.
I'm sorry?
Supervisor and coordinator, that's.
Yeah, that's
the
Mary.
same one.
Yeah, that's the same one, yeah, that's the same, that's Mary.
All right. Anyone else? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Next is under Public Works. Update on demolition 217 Lincoln Avenue. Work was completed and submitted to the Char West COG.
That's it, just wanted to let you know, it's completed.
Next, 2016 road program update. Bids are due Wednesday, April 20th, 2016, at 10 a.m. Next, the SHAGHOG joint municipal bids, the sewer repairs. I will entertain a motion to award bid for the spotlighting project, year 10, to Robinson Pipe Cleaning Company in the amount of $34,652.50 as recommended by the engineer.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Next, I will entertain a motion to award the bid for manhole-to-manhole lining, year 10, to JetJack in the amount of $39,190, as recommended by the engineer.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
Actually, could I just take a moment to educate the public on what JetJack does for the community? I had the opportunity this past weekend with council to go to the Allegheny League of Municipalities annual conference, and I had the opportunity to pick up a sample of the material that JetJack uses, and it is actually a really interesting process of how they line and use this technology with resin and steam to basically save the community a lot of money and make our sewers more efficient with regards to the infiltration of groundwater to our systems and to prevent the liquids and other fluids that are inside our systems from leaking out into the ground. So this little sleeve here actually is pretty environmentally friendly. It saves a lot of man hours and protects our labor force from actually having to open up and trench things. So I thought it was very interesting. It's one of those things that I never seen it before. I mean, I'm in a field that I've seen a lot of different engineering technologies, and this technology, once the resin is in place, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So I just want to take this opportunity to let you guys know what council's voting on, because I think to most of us, we have no idea. But I just want to take this opportunity to do a little show and tell. So when you hear us talk about this, you have a little more understanding of what we're doing and how cost effective it is really to do this type of refurbishment of our lines. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Next, I will entertain a motion to award the bid for O&M point repair, year 5, Roto-Rooter, in the amount of $158,845, as recommended by the engineer.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Well, actually, I was just waiting. I did review this in depth today, and I talked to the manager. I think Roto-Rooter should be commended for providing the borough with a very competitive bid. They were the low bidder, however, they have an excellent reputation. Of the bids, they actually came in underneath Gateway's estimate, so this bid was nearly $30,000 underneath the initial engineer's estimate. So I think between Gateway and Roto-Rooter, I think this bid deserves our approval, and if anybody has any questions, I think it's a lot of money, but I think it was, obviously the competitive bid process is working in our favor. I think we're fortunate for that. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Are they the borough plumbers for the borough, or this job?
It's just this operation maintenance of the sewer repairs. So we put that out for bid with Shaycog and get larger quantities with all the communities that participate. So, yeah. They did it, they actually won it in 2015 as well, too. They do a nice job, they really do. No complaints on restoration. So they did a nice job.
Thank you. Anyone else? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Next is under zoning and planning. These are planning commission appointments. I will entertain a motion to reappoint Lydia Herring to the planning commission for a 4-year term expiring April 13th, 2020.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
I'll just note Lydia Herring has been a new member to the commission. She's currently taking the planning commission course through Local Government Academy. She also is an engineer at Tetra Tech, and she's a great addition to the community and is bringing a lot of talent. And I think Mr. O'Brien could also speak to the qualities and the character that she brings to the community. So I think we're very fortunate to have her hat in the ring again to be on planning commission.
Thank you. Anyone else? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Roll call? Yeah.
Next, I will entertain a motion to appoint Ashley McCullough to the Planning Commission for a term expiring April 13th, 2017.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
You got something on? Go ahead.
Did you read her?
No, I didn't.
Okay. I'll take the opportunity to the community about Ms. McCullough. Ms. McCullough has a diverse background. She has an education in criminology, and I think as a member of the Planning Commission, she will add more diversity. Again, I commend her for submitting her letter of interest. She was very detailed, enthusiastic, and I think she'll be a great addition to the community. And it's that type of diversity that will really inform our processes. And I hope she stays around for a while. She's a new community member, been here under 4 years. And I think it's very exciting to have more excited residents to be part of the process. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Next is under finance. I will entertain a motion to authorize payment of tax refunds from the general fund and road tax fund in the amount of $1,035.29.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Next is under public safety. I will entertain a motion to authorize to advertise ordinance number 1635, amending chapter 214, the residential parking on certain streets and modify parking restrictions.
So moved.
Second?
You want a second?
Any discussion?
Yeah, actually, I was looking at it and I was trying to, the document, and I just was wondering about some details behind it. What's it intended for?
The mayor.
Okay, super, thanks.
The area that we're discussing is a small area on Station Street between East Crafton and Division. There's two residential structures on that portion of the street. The first residential structure has off-street parking. The second, a two-unit duplex, does not have off-street parking. And with the busway situation going on, the residents, if they pull out, they'll lose the spot. We're the only place that they can park. So what I'm asking for is that we can't get into this residential parking fiasco that we talked about several years ago, but to restrict parking in that area, the same as East Crafton Avenue for the 4-hour restrictions. And for those, and it's actually only about maybe 3 or 4 vehicles, and it would have no effect on the busway parking.
Thank you.
So essentially, it's providing the homeowners relief. Okay.
Yes.
And it limits to 4 hours, so
Yeah.
if you go to downtown, you're longer than that. So,
Anyone else? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. All right, next is under Parks and Recreation. The discussion on Little Cougars fundraising, vinyl banners, and fence at the field.
I just want to tell you, the Little Cougars came to the last meeting and asked if they could put banners up on the field. So first of all, we weren't sure who owned the fence. So Rob and I looked into it, and the school district owns the fence. We maintain the grassy area on Steuben Street. I'm sorry, I should put that on Steuben Street. But we maintain the grassy area outside. So I emailed Dennis McDade, who is the property and maintenance guy at the school district. And he said that he would have to ask the superintendent. So he did speak with the superintendent, and he had no problem with it. But he wants to make sure that you submit to the borough the advertiser and the content of the banner for obvious reasons. They want to make sure you're not putting up something that would be inappropriate for the community. So he said that would be their only concern. And I said, well, of course, the borough would have to maintain that as well. So, you know, if you would just give us a list along with making a copy of the banner, that would be fine. So the school district doesn't have a problem. And I told him if there was an issue, I would email him back or call him, but he left it up to the borough to maintain that we would review each of the banners.
Thank you.
Is this something that will eventually vote on?
I mean, we could, it doesn't matter. I mean, it would really, I was gonna give it to Dan Felton, the building inspector, to review the list. I mean, obviously, if it's, you know, Joe's car repair or something, I don't think there's gonna be a problem with Joe's car repair. But, you know, I would provide the building inspector a list, and he would review it, is who I was. But I could certainly provide council with a copy of the list of advertisers. And, I mean, you can email them to me, you can drop them off, whatever's easier, and then I can provide a copy to council, it's not a problem. But I was planning on giving it to Dan Felton to review.
Okay,
How
what's this?
long these be up? I mean, are they up permanently or?
No, it would be from July until, when did you want to have them up there?
I believe it was till the end of October.
Yeah, July through November 2016. So, now the school district said that they may be changing some of their policies on advertising for the 2016-17 year, but he said he doesn't think there's gonna be any drastic changes, and it wouldn't take effect on this year because you'd already have them up. So there may be some changes for next year, and if there's changes, we'll just have to work with them. But he just said that they're gonna make some revisions. I don't know what they are, he just said nothing drastic.
That's Stuba or Linden?
Linden, it's really Linden, is what I assumed, right?
No.
Sorry?
On Linden?
Do you want on Stuba
Yeah.
or Linden side?
The main one closest, the fence closest to the road, not the one furthest back.
You're talking about the main drag.
Yeah, the
Can we
main
have Mr.
strip.
Fletcher
That's,
come up, please? Thank you. Just want everybody at home to know who we're talking to. You're over there. You can introduce yourselves, just so everybody's aware.
So, yeah, it would be on the main strip that's closest to the highway, maybe on the bottom.
State your name.
Anthony Fletcher, representing the Carlton Low Cougars. So it would be on the lower half of the fence, closest obviously at eye level with traffic, and that's super high, having people just, take away, be able to see the signs pretty clearly. And it would be on the fence closest, not the putt-putt course fence sits back, I'll say about 5 or 6 feet from the road, and it's also covered by trees and other obstructions. So the fence closest to the road that has the court behind it, I guess is what's maintained by the high school, would be close to that zone.
still by the
Yeah,
old,
right,
by the old tennis courts for the
Right.
parking lot.
right. So that's on stupid.
It's just, that's on the main strip.
Right.
Any other questions?
Why call school?
Thank you.
We maintain outside the fence. The school district maintains the fence and then inside. But all school district. So I don't think we need a motion to approve it. I mean,
Okay, I was just wondering
I
if,
don't believe that we do. We're just, the school districts, we don't really own the fence. The school district does. I just wanted to let council know. And then, well, I'll give you a list when he sends me a list. I'll give you a list of what the banners are.
okay. I was just, I didn't know what was next. If-
No, I just wanted, he brought it before, a couple members of council at the meeting, so I looked into it, he provided me a copy of it. I looked into it and wanted to share the information with council.
Thank you. Anyone else?
May I ask, Mrs. Damas, a question? Mrs. Damas, from your recollection, that this is the property down by Walgreens, right? Or is this a different property? All right.
Yeah,
Could we have the solicitor investigate the title on that parcel? Because I'd like clarification.
it's the school district.
It's listed in the parcel, parcel A as that?
Yeah, it's a school district property.
When the Crafton School District went away, all that property went over to Carpenter.
Oh, okay. So they're at, no question as to,
It's
No question.
never been,
The golf course belongs to Crafton.
Yeah,
well, the last I heard, they were given permission to use it forever, but I don't think they deeded that property where that putt-putt is, I bet it's still deeded to Carpenter School
I
District.
think that probably gets out of it a little bit, but we can check.
I mean,
My
I can
understanding-
check on the,
yeah, I just want some clarification on that.
it's
Not that,
definitely the school district. My understanding was is the putt-putt, the borough, that's actually owned by the school district, but they gave it to the borough for $1 on an annual lease basis.
so may I ask a question, because we're still discussing Parks and Recs. Who's responsible for maintaining that and keeping it in good?
Public Works.
So we're taking care of Carlington's,
No, well, they lease it to us for $1. That used to be a golf course, mini golf,
right,
and this, you used to get your.
so I guess we have some work
The
to do.
swimming pool.
We have some work to do.
Nobody ever used it.
I know, I'm just saying it's an eyesore. I would like it.
We could get, it would probably be cheaper to get rid of it and put grass.
Oh, yeah, well, whatever it would be.
That's what the big discussion was, what to do with it. Do we open it up, clean it up, and reopen it? Do we lease it with the pool? This was the recreation board was discussing last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Different options, what to do with it. It wasn't very successful when it was a putt-putt course. I don't think it paid
No.
for itself. It actually was expensive to burn, it was underused.
Yeah,
So there was discussion, do you lease it when you lease the pool? But then again, you have to cross over 60,
Yeah.
and there's a safety issue there, unless you hire a crossing guard to cross the people. It's not a real good
yeah,
location.
well, either way, I mean, just with property maintenance, when we're talking about property maintenance, it would be a shame to have all this nice, momentum behind Little Cougars and having a nice place for them to put up their banners, and then to have that eyesore still there as with regards to, it is on county. I don't think anybody can deny that. So maybe we can invest, we can move on that this spring.
We could keep it, look at that, definitely keep it under control.
Yeah.
Especially when summer kids come on board, just to keep it trimmed and clean, but it won't be in golf condition, but.
Every year, the last year when I was here, and the senior group wanted to come and have like a little fundraiser for the seniors, like in high school, seniors in high school. And they went down there and they came back and said, no, thanks, we're good, you know.
So are all those mini golf things fixed, or can we pick them up?
It's a hodgepodge. Some are okay, some of them would take some minor repairs, and some of them would take major repairs.
Yeah, well, what I
So it's a
mean is,
mixture.
can we pick them up?
Can we take them out?
Yeah.
Can we take them?
Yes. Yeah, we could, whatever council wishes, we could take them out, remove it.
Maybe ask the community garden to see if.
I think the recreation board would need to be
Yeah, we'd
involved in
have
that
to talk with
discussion,
them.
because there's some idea and vision that they have that might be
Yeah.
different than
I
council.
guess I could ask Mary Lexbacher what.
Yeah, because we're not gonna do anything with it, I think it's best to, you're either gonna use it, or we're going to make it, it's like having an abandoned building, it's like, oh wow, we have an abandoned putt-putt course. It's like, okay.
I can ask Mary, she's on the recreation board.
Mary
I'm on the rec
Lexbacher's up.
board, I could answer that question for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've talked about doing some things down there. It's a really hard, we remodeled that place, when was it, Marcia?
96 when they moved down
96
there and
maybe.
redid it.
And we went in and put big rocks in there and all that wonderful greenery and stuff, and it was nice for a while, but it's, compared to what's going on now with golf,
Oh, yeah.
it's out of. So, it was always just something that the school used for their haunted, whatever they were doing, to raise money, and that's about all that goes on down there, besides the football.
Do you have any plans for it?
Could you come up?
No, I don't want
Do you wanna get up?
No.
Could you just
No, she
state your
doesn't
name?
want to.
I'm Linda Breeden.
All right, hello, Mrs. Regan.
Yes,
Thank you.
and we do the senior dinners,
Yes.
monthly, things like that. Mary does like to get involved in the planting and stuff like that, so maybe that'd be something that they'd wanna do down there. So, we'll get some ideas. Wayne's on the rec board committee also, this is Wayne.
Hi, Wayne.
So we just had a little meeting, that's why we're here.
Oh, good.
Who owns the structures?
The borough,
Or-
Borough does?
it's theirs and they can have them.
Anyone else? Next is under announcements. First one is the paper shred event on Saturday, April 23rd, 2016, at the Crafton Park, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. And also the Crafton Celebrates birthday celebration at the park. That's the same day, correct?
That's good. They're giving away, well, they're, hot dogs and hamburgers, I believe, and drinks, and then they're gonna raffle off the annual pool pass that the park donates. That's gonna be one of the raffle prizes.
So everybody come out. That will be a good time. Next is spring cleanup, Saturday, April 30th, 2016, at the Crafton Park, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Crafton residents only. And the collection items are building materials, bulk items, household clutter, yard debris, and small appliances. Things they will not collect are tires or rims, auto parts, refrigerators or AC units, paint or electronic waste. Next is opening up the floor for any other additional discussion items.
Mayor?
I had received a complaint about the brightness of the new streetlights that are going in, which are LEDs.
Yeah, their LED lights were put down on Afton. Actually, it was a program through Duquesne Light that grant program that we signed on for. Majority of them were, we wanted into the park area, help brighten that up during the evening hours and summer hours. It's a public safety issue.
My complaint is from Afton Avenue. It said that the ultra brightness of the light by his house actually interferes with his well-being because it lights up the inside of his house with the curtains. And I was wondering, and he was wondering if there was a possibility of getting like a shade to create a shadows, off of the light fixture itself from Duquesne Light. And, yeah, I'll give you the address. Is there a way to maybe mitigate that a little bit as to he was used to with the street light that was there that's been replaced with this. So I haven't seen it myself. He called me today, and I said I would bring it up this evening with council. Maybe we could check it out and see what's
Yeah, I
going
can
on.
ask Duquesne Lights, they'll push you a lot. LED lights are greener and, they're.
Well, I know
They're
they're
greener energy efficient.
Greener energy,
And
energy
that's-
efficient, that kind of thing. And we participated in a grant program to get this done.
And would there be a way to, would there be a way to? maybe
I'd have to
mitigate
check with
it?
Duquesne Light and
Well-
ask them.
I know a little bit about this. You can tune them, the lights may be tuned. You don't, we just have to work with Duquesne on that. And there are a variety of LED lights, so I don't want this discussion to sort of taint the idea of having LED lighting because they are much more energy efficient. They're more reliable. The lifespan is on the order of 50 times longer than sodium halide lights. So I think we can work with the municipality, with Duquesne. There are many other municipalities that are using them, so I'm sure that there's been other complaints and discussions, and I'm sure we can find a solution. But I don't want the complaints to dissuade us from moving in this direction, because there is over a 5-year period, payback period, the operation, the LED lights essentially pay for themselves, and we will be netting, there'll be a net gain to the municipality for moving in this direction with the LED lights. I have a personal preference for them because I think they provide more security. They do a much better job of lighting the area, and our goal is to provide lighting and security. That's why we have the lights. So it's an interesting issue, and we're gonna have to explore it, but I would not want this body to be persuaded not to go, be dissuaded and not look into taking advantage of Duquesne's program, because this year we're also eligible, and Duquesne will be sending us additional applications, and I'm hoping that we can really work with Duquesne to provide the solution to the municipality. It's one of the things that I ran on, was trying to move us forward with that. So thank you.
The complaint is not with Duquesne.
Yeah, it's with the brightness.
It's with the brightness. So
Yeah.
all I'm asking is if there is a way that we can get on and take a look at that, maybe mitigate that, turn the light on the pole in a different direction, something
Yeah.
like that. That's all, it's nothing to do
Yeah,
with.
it might just be readjustment,
Oh, yeah.
Larry. It could be
Yeah,
something
That's
else.
what I'm saying.
Maybe
Maybe
there's
there's
a
complaints
shield
with
or
the
something.
LEDs, and nobody's asking that we quit this program.
Oh, yeah,
It's just that we
no.
have a small problem,
Yeah.
and I'm just asking that we check to have it
That's
corrected.
fine.
Yeah.
I don't
I
need
can look into
a
it.
whole lot
Oh,
of
no.
Please be an address.
Jesus.
It's an address. That's all.
Thank you, Mayor Bloom. Anyone else want to bring anything up for discussion? All right, the next on the list is citizens' comments limited to 3 minutes. And Kathleen Watson signed up. Would you step up to the microphone, please? State your name and your address.
Kathleen Watson, 74 Fountain Street. I was asking about 78 Fountain Street, Sanchez home. I wanted to know what any updates on that from when I was here last time.
We're waiting for it to be scheduled for trial,
What's the trial for?
to take down the structure.
Okay. I was under the impression, really just through gossip, that there was a hearing a couple weeks ago. And
There was a-
if he lost or what.
There was a tax appeal hearing. He
Okay.
appealed the assessment of taxes on the property. And that is a separate issue from the taking down the structure.
Is he allowed on the property? Yeah. I mean, if he would come to go into his house, is he allowed to go in?
Theoretically, it's condemned and he shouldn't be there.
Okay, well, that's a question, because if we see him going in, or he and somebody else going in, are they allowed to
That
go in,
that
or
should
should
be,
we call the police?
that should be reported to the code enforcement.
Okay,
Wait, call the police.
okay.
I think he was down there the other day, he was walking around the property, is what
I
I
don't know.
heard.
I know.
He didn't
I
go
guess
inside.
The borough cleaned the property up on Sunday?
Yes, we did.
Yeah,
Yeah, we had company.
because I noticed one of the boys that was from Crafton, he was there.
They are.
And, okay, but the borough did that, it wasn't him.
No, the borough did that,
Okay,
because we're trying to clean up some of these
thank you. I
properties.
have no idea what a big difference
So
that
that's
makes.
what,
And then one more thing, the sidewalk in the street in front of Doherty's old house, I don't know the number,
38.
38 Fountain Street. Can you please do something about our street there? street, sidewalk, it's a disaster.
Yeah, I was up, but we actually tried to remove some of the debris from the gutter line. And up Seven Springs, I got the opportunity to talk to somebody that does castings. What I want to do there, because that's, I walked that whole area. Actually, I don't know if you know, behind that old property, there's actually a moat. Somebody dug a deep channel and moat, I guess the spring mine water is coming off of that property,
Right.
run the back onto that catch basin.
You should have
I
seen it in the
also-
wintertime, it's a skating rink for
I
us.
know, we had to solve it, but I also emailed Pennsylvania American Water, notified the manager. Apparently when they demo that house, sometimes what occurs, what they do is they'll shut the water off at the main valve on the street. They'll crimp the line that goes into the property. They'll crimp that copper line and have it shut off at the curb box on the street. Sometimes that shut off doesn't seal and actually shut the line off completely, and it can cause the water to do what it's doing now. So I emailed Pennsylvania American Water to see if they would come out and check that shut off to make sure that there's no water actually running up to that lot. I walked that lot, and actually by the moat, it's dry. There's a wet section up there where I'm gonna assume where the water line went up to that property before it was demoed. So we're gonna do, and then in the meantime, I'm gonna look into actually capturing the water along the curb line. Put a grate in, one of these long trench grates, they're called, collect the water and take it down to the catch basin near the
Can the
intersection.
road itself be fixed? Because rather than, we have the potholes, but now the road itself is going up.
The road itself, the new machine the council approved that we purchased is actually gonna cut that asphalt out, and we can do what I call them blowout patches, do a major repair in that one section.
Okay,
We're able to cut it out, be able to patch it when the asphalt cleans up enough. So we should be able to get that sometime this spring or summer.
Thank you very much.
Anyone else? I will entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.